Computer, we're in action. Got it.
There you go.
All right, welcome back everybody. Sorry for the delay. Okay, the updated cookie timeline. As you know, we pushed the start time back to February 1st, obviously for obvious reasons with the world the crazy as it is. We were trying to give a little more time for people to get ready, and we were kind of hoping maybe COVID would be gone. Just kidding. The initial order is due on February 15th. Council cookie booths will be the first 3 weekends in March. We're going to talk about that. Girl totals are finalized by March 22nd. ACH stands for Automated Clearinghouse, and that's an electronic transfer of funds. That's how the councils pay the troops pay the council for cookies. That happens on 2 different dates, March 15th and March 30th. And then like everything's over then it gives us a chance to get all the recognitions together, the rewards. And then we have a 2-day reward pickup where you come and pick up your rewards. Kathy, are you still on?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, good. Thanks. All right, the cookie lineup, everybody's favorite cookies, Girl Scout cookies. As you should hopefully know, the Thanks-a-Lots from the past couple of years was sunsetted last year. So that cookie is no longer available. We did see a spike in sales last year because of this. A little tidbit, the Thin Mint cookie is the second most popular selling cookie in the United States, right behind Oreo. And the funny thing is we only sell it for like 2 months. So think about the number of Thin Mints that are sold. It's crazy town. And then I also wanted to add really quick before we go on, there are 2 different bakeries that make Girl Scout cookies. Our council goes with ABC Bakery. They're located in North Sioux City, South Dakota. Just so you know, they both make the same cookies except for the cookies I'm going to talk about in a minute. But they have different names. So for example, ours is called a shortbread. Theirs is called a trefoil. It's exactly the same cookie. It has a slight different taste. But if you're in other parts of the country and you wondered why the cookies look the same but with different names, that's the reason, because they go with the other baker. And then also every council negotiates with the baker for their price, and depending on the council's need, they set their own price. I believe the majority of the country at this time is at $5 per package. And to replace the Thanks-a-Lot this year, we have a new cookie called the Toastier. Yay! We did a cookie taste test back in December. On December 12th, we had 1,100 people come through and sample the Toastier cookie. So far, so good. We got a lot of good feedback on that. So I'm happy to report that. If you were not able to make it through that drive-through, if you want to come this week, we were talking about it earlier and we'll talk about it later. This week, Friday, 9 to 3, Saturday, 9 till noon at Milwaukee or Kenosha, you can just swing through and pick up one of the packages of the new cookie, the Toastier. So we're getting a lot of good attention to that. And the fun thing is we'll send out a national press release and that'll go out in early February. So usually like even Good Morning America and the Today Show and stuff, it should get some really good press, well, depending on what's going on in the country, but hopefully we get a lot of press and that'll just add a little bit more excitement. So you should have customers looking for this cookie. We also sell a gluten-free cookie, which is a caramel chocolate chip cookie. Now, for those of you that haven't had it and are thinking right now, caramel chocolate chip, that sounds delicious. It sounds delicious, but it's a gluten-free cookie. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's not delicious, but it's not your mom's caramel chocolate chip cookie. It's a gluten-free caramel chocolate chip cookie. This cookie is optional for troops to sell and girls to sell. It's not pictured on the order card. So only if you have a customer asking for the gluten-free cookie are you really going to need it. And then some troops do, get a case because they know people that want it. But if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Troops were asked to put in a pre-order in October. And just the reason why I always have to explain, ABC Bakers is not a gluten-free cookie bakery. So they have to farm it out to another bakery, and that bakery can't keep up with the demand like a usual cookie, Girl Scout cookie. So we have to pre-place our order in October, and we're not able to reorder. So that's why we asked troops to put their order in, so we knew what to order. Troops were asked to put in their pre-order in full cases. Those cases will be included in your initial order at your pickup that Kathy's going to tell you about later. If you missed the deadline, you're a new troop or you were just in another world at that time, no problem. We ordered extras. We will have 150 cases here at the council. So you can always just throw an email into cookies@GSY's and say, oh, I missed the deadline. Can I get some gluten-free cookies? So that's the way. And then the gluten-free cookies cost $6 and the other ones cost $5. So there's 8 of the regular cookies and then this one makes 9. This year, the theme of the cookie sale this year is Be Amazing, and our mascot is a bumblebee, which is the cutest thing ever. I love all the stuff that's bee, so we'll talk about it in a minute. But this year, we are doing something new called Taking the Cookie Pledge. For those of you that were around last year, we had a squishy fox on the lanyard. It looked just like the bee, but it was a fox. Girls had to sell 175 packages in order to earn that fox. But this year we are making it really easy. All girls have to do is take a pledge to do their best and sell as many cookies as they can. Hopefully the council goal, which is 175 packages. We already have, I believe, 2,500 girls that have taken the pledge. It's an online pledge. It takes 2 seconds. Girls are going to pledge to be amazing. They're going to pledge to be safe at this time. They're going to pledge to do their best. They're going to pledge to do all that stuff. It's very simple. Once they take that pledge, they're eligible to pick up the squishy bee and lanyard. And this weekend, Friday, January 22nd, 9 till 3, Saturday, January 23rd, 9 till noon at Milwaukee or Kenosha, girls and their families are invited through. If you are a troop cookie captain and you have girls that took the bee challenge, or the bee, sorry, I'm thinking of that water challenge that people used to do, the bee pledge, and you want to pick up for your whole troop, you can do that because we have enough stock at both of the service centers. But we did hand those out back in December with the cookie drive-through, and we already handed out like 1,500 of them. So I know a lot of girls are out there probably wearing their bees. And then if you miss this weekend, you can pick up your bee when you come in for cookie cupboard pickups. The tricky part is the offices aren't really open right now. So you can't just stop by like you usually did. We have to make sure somebody's there. So whenever there's scheduled cookie cupboard hours, we'll talk about that shortly, you can come in any of those times and we'll have the bees available too. All right, participation pathways for cookies. You all are troop cookie captains, so you are going to manage the girls in your troop and manage their sale. We have girls in the troop that might not have leadership at this time for whatever reason. All girls are invited to participate in the sale. So those girls kind of move over to the council and then we take them on one by one because we just want to make sure that all girls get the opportunity to sell because we know it's kind of a crazy time right now. And then we also have individually registered girls, and those are usually older girls that like their troop might have fizzled, but they still want to be a Girl Scout and they never had a home troop. They still sell, but they go through the council. Kathy, are we doing okay with questions?
Yeah, we're doing okay. I just wanted to, there's a couple of important ones. So are you ready for a couple questions?
Go ahead.
One of the main questions would be, when is the cookie connection coming out? The first cookie connection coming out?
It'll be coming out on Friday. We've sent out 2 major emails already, but they weren't technically cookie connections on Friday. They were just trying to get cookie captains with the cookie captain agreement form and stuff. But this Freak Friday will be our first official cookie connection. Good question.
All right. Another question was the cookies. Just wanting to know, there's a lot of questions. Can they still get a free package of the Toasty cookie when they pick up their bees?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you covered that. And other than that, nope, we're doing all right.
All right. Onward we go. Okay. Troop proceeds. Proceeds are what the troop earns for selling cookies. Proceeds are based on the average number of packages sold by the troop. The per girl selling average is what we call it, is determined by taking the total number of packages sold by the troop at the very end of the sale, dividing by the number of girls selling, and that gives you your per girl selling average. Don't worry, you don't have to do any math. It's all figured for you in Smart Cookies, but I'm going to give you a hint right now. Make sure you look at what your per girl selling average is, because if you're sitting at 125 you might want to do a little bit of math on the side, and it might only take you one case to bump you up to the next level. And if you look, that's a 15-cent bump. So if you're at that kind of an average, that kind of a bump is usually hundreds of dollars. And sometimes you'll make more money than you have to pay to get the extra cookie. So just make sure that you are always looking at that per girl selling average to make the most of your sale. My goal is to make all the troops earn as much money as humanly possible. Just so you know, the cookie price was increased last year to $5, and these proceeds amount were also raised last year. So between 75, so our big selling troops with the big averages are selling and they're earning $1 a box. And if there are new people on the call, the average cookie or the average troop earns approximately $1,500 in a cookie sale. I know of troops that are go-getter crazy troops that are selling all the time. But you know, if they're funding a trip to like Europe or something, some are bringing in $5,000 and $6,000. So if you really want to make a lot of money, this is the way this is the way. Cookie rewards or recognitions, and some people call them prizes, but cookie rewards are what the girls earn individually. Let me go back. Proceeds are what the troop earns. So if my daughter sells 100 and your daughter sells 2, the troop cookie captain can't say Wendy's daughter doesn't have to pay, but your daughter does. It's equally shared within the troop. Troop proceeds, it goes to everybody in the troop, regardless, even if they sell. So that is used for like troop outings, troop whatever, blah, blah, blah. Cookie rewards, that is based for the girl. There are levels, and the cookie rewards are cumulative. What cumulative means is to whatever level they get to, they will get a reward at each item up to the level that they get to. Pictured on the left or the right of the screen is the reward sheet. This is inside each girl's order card when they get it, either in the mail or if you're picking it up this weekend. And this sheet is also posted on our website already. So if you want to take a look at stuff already. At the third level, there are program activity credits, otherwise known as PACs or PACs. What PACs are it's basically Girl Scout money that can be used at GSYs. So PACs can be used to pay for your way to camp. They can pay for activities. You can even pay for your next year's registration. You can take it into the resource center and buy merchandise in the resource center. And the really cool thing is you can, if you're a younger girl and you're saving, or I guess not even younger, if you're saving for a big council sponsored trip or a destination, you can start saving those as early as like in the second grade. And I do have some second graders that are already banking their PACs to be used at maybe they're going to Europe in 10th grade, and just think of all the money they'd have then. So PACs too are cumulative. So if you see the first one is $10, then 15, then 30. So you would get 30, 45, 55 dollars if you made it up to that third level and chose all PACs. So that's what PACs are. And then we also offer every year a philanthropy option. And I love this. And I always love using the word philanthropy because it teaches girls what that word is. And I was amazed the first time we did it at how many girls chose this. So instead of choosing a stuffed animal or a t-shirt or whatever else is at that level, girls can choose to make a donation. This year's donation is called Be Philanthropic, and we're partnering up with the Urban Ecology Center, where they have bee gardens and beehives and like all this bee cool stuff, which goes along perfectly with our theme this year. And girls can choose to donate at the first 2 levels instead of receiving the reward. And they will receive this patch that is pictured in the right upper corner of the screen. And then there also will be a virtual event through the Urban Ecology Center. And what I'm envisioning, I'm assuming, they're going to put the bee get up on and like show us how to do that. And a little side note, my dream when we thought of this was to build beehives and bee gardens at all of our camps until the camp staff said, no, we are not going to have 40,000 bees and all the girls, and that's just not going to work. So anyways, so Urban Ecology Center was thrilled to take this on. So I'm super excited about that. Kathy, how are we doing with questions?
We actually have a couple of really good questions. And the first one is, Somebody caught that on your slide. There is no lemonade cookie. Did we discontinue the lemonade cookie?
That is a great question. And I noticed that after I did it. No, the lemonade is still going strong. The lemonade, I believe, is the #4 selling cookie. So I'm pretty sure they're never going to get rid of it. But great question. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. And then another question was, if they order too many of the gluten-free cookie, can they decrease their order? Or if they didn't, miss them and miss the order, can they still? And so make sure to let them know they can still order them.
Yeah, so I would throw an email into cookies@GSY's and we can take care of it that way. So we could still pre-order them for you. And then if somebody said they wanted to decrease, I'm thinking that's what's going to weigh out the people that missed to order versus that. So yeah, we can just flip-flop them. That'll be fine.
Okay. That was the big one.
All right, awesome. Okay. This is where begins the meat of this meeting. This is the big stuff. This is game changing. This is huge. And this is, I hate to say, where you really need to pay attention. The selling options for this year are better and bigger than ever. Number one, we have order cards. Order cards have always been. Order cards in my book are old school. Everybody can use an order card. Girls will all get their order cards. And if you refuse to do anything online, use the order card. It's completely fine. But this year, girls can go online. They have been able to for a couple of years now, but the game-changing part of it is customers can order and pay for cookies online. I'm going to say it again. The customer can order, which they've been able to do before, but they can pay online. Big, big, big stuff. And then there's also social media links. I'm going to talk about the different types of online selling in a minute. But there are ways, if a girl didn't want to have any contact with any people at all, she can do all online selling, and I'll tell you how. Or hybrid is what we're calling it, where I'm going to do a lot of my orders online, but some of them in person. And from those of you that are still stuck on the order cards, I would still set up an online account, and you can set up the app. And Kathy had a perfect example today. If you're at the grocery store and some friend sees you and says, hey, are you guys selling Girl Scout cookies again? And you're like, yes. And if you're only using your order card, you might have to say, oh, my order card's at home. I'll have to call you and then we can arrange blah, 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 blah. If you do that online link, you have two options. You can say, I can send you a link right now. I could text you a link and you could go home and order and pay. Or I can take your order right now in person and you could do it on your app. So the possibilities are endless, but it just makes it so much easier. And what I want to convey to you as cookie captains is you want to make sure your girls do this because it makes your job a heck of a lot easier. Next, the girl selling options. Next week, Monday, and by the way, you all will be getting a link to get in as the Troop Cookie Captain. All registered Girl Scouts in all troops, in all selling pathways will also receive an email to set up a link or set up their online selling platform, if you will, in Smart Cookies. The email comes from abcsmartcookies.com. Just so you know, troop cookie captains are getting it and girls are getting it. There's kind of two sides to Smart Cookies. There's the troop side and there's the girl side. And unfortunately, they don't really talk to each other, which we're going to go through in a minute. But just so you know, when you're logging in as a troop cookie captain, you're logging in to see the whole troop. When girls are doing it, they are setting up their own troop or their own girl account to do online selling. Once they set up their account, their options are they can send out e-cards. And that's always been an option for the past couple of years. But as my daughter would tell me, well, I don't know everybody's email address and my friends at school want to buy and nobody does email anymore. Mom, that's so old school. I'm like, okay, this year, this is so exciting. They can now take the social media link. You can post that on Facebook. You can post that on, you can put it in a text. You can put it wherever you want. And the best part is that customers can choose to have the cookies delivered by the girl, which means no fee to the customer, and they can pay online. So think about that. That's huge. So text it to all your friends. All your friends can place their order. All your orders are neatly kept for you in your online account, and they've already paid for them. So when you need to go drop them off, you don't even have to meet with them. You can say, hey, I'm going to drop them in your mailbox today, and you can do it contactless, which is really cool. Also, just to let you know, this is the way it was before, is there is direct ship. And I'm going to jump a screen and then I'm going to come back. The customer purchasing option. So when I give that customer the link, they have two, well, they kind of have three options, but really two. The first is to choose girl delivered where there is no fee. That means they're going to order the cookies. The girl is going to place that order with her Troop Cookie Captain. She's going to physically pick up those cookies and deliver them to the customer. The other option is direct ship where there is a fee. And what that means is the customer is ordering directly from the bakery. So when they place that order, the bakery is going to pack up that order and ship it to them. Somebody asked, I think it takes like less than a week. So people that order on February 1st will be getting their cookies like really quickly. There is a shipping fee associated with direct ship. Shipping fee this year, you will be thrilled to know, is being subsidized by the council because we know a lot of people are going to want to do this. From 1 to 5 packages, it still costs $12. That was the regular fee. But after 6 packages, 6 to 12 packages costs only $6. And I will tell you, from one that has taken cookies to the post office to mail, that's cheaper than you can do it yourself. So $6 for like 12 packages is a steal. So what I'm telling you is, if you could get everybody to just do that, technically you could sit back with your feet up and you wouldn't even have to do anything because you don't even have to pick up those cookies. They're getting shipped for you. So subsidized shipping. The other side of that is, let's go back to the girl delivered. Customers that choose the girl delivered option, they have the option to pay upfront, or they can do it old school and pay at the delivery. Like my mom will be like, no, I need to write you a check and I'm going to give you that check when you drop off. That's fine. You can still do it that way. But I'd say, but mom, if you pay up front, then we can just make it that much easier. So anyway, either way, but there are no credit card fees associated with this. Last year, we introduced a little bit of online paying just at booths, but the troops were responsible for paying. Everybody knows that there's a credit card fee every time you use a credit card, and usually the store pays it. We were pushing that to the troops. This year, the council will be paying the credit card fees. So that's why I'm saying, troop cookie captains, have everybody do everything online. You're not out anything, and it just makes your life a lot easier. Lastly, so you have that link that you can text or put on Facebook or whatever. And just, I need to go back 1 second. When you're setting up the girls' account, you need to have the girls check that they want to make girl delivery an option. And if you go back 2 slides when I was talking about girls that want to do everything virtual and don't want to have any contact with the customer, then they wouldn't check that and they would only offer direct ship, because direct ship goes right to the customer without the girl. If they want to offer girl delivery along with direct ship, there's a special button they have to choose direct ship. Just if you're thinking about this though, and you're like, oh, cool, I could put that link everywhere and really boost my sales. Think about this though, that link could go viral or go something. And you might start seeing orders where people want to have a girl delivery. And then you see it and you're like, wait a minute, who are these people? I don't know these people. Or better yet, wait a second, they live in, Kentucky. I'm not going to girl deliver to these people. The cool part is all girl delivered orders through the link have to be approved by the girl/parent. So if you see people in there that you're like, wait a minute, somebody got a hold of this and I don't know that person and I'm not going to deliver, you can cancel that order and it'll refund their money. But if you do know them, you can hit approve. And the people that you cancel, what I would do is, you know what, I don't really know you and I don't have time to deliver to you, but let me send you the direct ship link. And then you can order them directly and they'll get shipped to you and my daughter will still get credit. Thank you very much. So that's the big stuff, big changes. Lastly, that has nothing to do really with the girl, but a very cool thing. Last year, when everything shut down and the world went crazy, Girl Scouts USA invented a national cookie link. So if you go into Google and put in Girl Scout cookies and you put in a zip code, it would let you purchase cookies from that council. Technically, we always have to connect it to a girl, but because of what was going on last year, they didn't make us do that. But there's a way around it this year, which is good news for all of us, because this you can literally kick back and you don't have to do a thing. Customers that go online, and they can be anywhere in the country, and they put in the zip code 53214, it will randomly select a troop from that zip code. So once we upload all those troops into Smart Cookies this week, they all have a zip code attached. Somebody will be assigned that. The National Cookie Link only offers direct ship, of course, because you don't know who these people are. They will order and pay for the cookies online, of course, because you have to pay for direct ship, and they will pay the shipping fee, which is still subsidized by the council. But the cool part is the troop randomly selected will get the credit for it. And then what the troop cookie captain can do is spread it out to the girls, which we'll talk about shortly. I know that's a lot. Are there questions? Kathy?
So yeah, it was basically reiterating the 6 to 12 packages. That was a lot of questions about, can people order just 1 or 2? So if you could just reiterate the best bang for your buck, so to speak.
They can order 1 box of cookies, but it's going to cost them $12 in shipping. It'll let you do it, but I don't know why you would. But sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and then another question that I'll address, because I get this question multiple times in a cookie season: can my cookies be shipped to Canada and or internationally? And the answer is no, because it's so absolutely expensive to ship those cookies. So I just wanted to put that out there. Great question though. So I wanted to address that. And then there were just kind of questions about, like, how will you know if somebody's too far? If somebody gets a hold of the link, that was a lot of the same question. If somebody gets a hold of the link, and how do you know if they're too far? How do you know if you should accept that person or not?
I would say it's up to the parent, wouldn't you?
I would too. And I believe, and we haven't, when I was commenting to people, is that we haven't actually been in the system yet. So keep your eyes open for more information through the Cookie Connection. We're definitely going to send you out information on that, as well as video tutorials where you can actually watch videos of how this process works before you even decide to do it.
Hey, I just saw the last question that said, is it $6 for shipping 12 and over? I'm actually not even going to touch that, because this is a really complicated shipping fee structure. So it's actually $12 from 1 to 12 packages. We start subsidizing at 6. At 13 packages, it starts over again, but like part of it's subsidized, part of it's not. Honest to God, it's just easiest to order 12. And to be honest, I think if you wanted to do it, you're easiest to go like 12 and then do another order at 12 and whatever. The fun part is people can go in and play around and see what their shipping charges turn into. It's very complicated. So I just like to tell people 6 to 12 is $6.
All right. Well, the other a comment I'm getting is, this is amazing. So,
yay!
Just one.
And you know what? I want to say the same thing. And Kathy and I were talking about this. We have been asking for this for years and years and years. And this is the year it comes. And it, like we said, it couldn't have come at a better time, because this is a way to keep everybody safe. Absolutely love it. I hope everybody understands it's a lot of information, but I think we got through it carefully. So everybody push your girls to go online. That's the bottom line. Order cards are still there, but online is to be cool and go online. All right, onward.
Onward.
All right, the initial cookie order. Direct ship orders are the only orders that talk to each other from the girl side to the troop side. So the golden part is, like I said, if you have all direct ship orders, nobody has to do nothing. You can all do nothing, because the girl gets credit for it. The troop already has the money is in the troop. It's already posted. You don't have the money in your hands yet, but it's all done. Online girl delivered orders, and now we talked about those. Those are either the customer paid up front or they didn't. They could come from the link, they could come from the e-card, or you could take it using the app, all that stuff. You can pull a report on the girl side, and unfortunately, the girl has to pull this report for you to add up what all her online orders are. And if she used the order card, she needs to include that too, because she needs to give you a total that you're going to put in as the troop initial order under her name. Those cookies don't technically count toward her until you, the cookie captain, orders them. So her side of the Smart Cookie app or website or whatever you want to call it, is really only her way of keeping track of what she's selling. It's not really ordering anything except for the direct ship orders. So I hope that makes sense. The initial order is due by February 15th. Once you put in each girl's order that she's going to give to you, and that's from the order card and the online sales, and it's tallied up by variety. You put those all in. The system then adds up the whole troop order and it rounds it to full cases. One case equals 12 packages. So when it gets rounded, I like to use the example, if it's 13 packages, it's going to round you to 2 cases, which means you'd have 11 extras. And people now are saying, what do I do with them? You sell them. And trust me, all the seasoned cookie captains, that's the part I miss about doing this in person, because somebody would raise their hand and be like, oh my gosh, we sell them so easy. But anyways, seasoned cookie captains can also tell you that they already know they're going to need more mints, more caramels, more peanut butter patties. So they use what's rounded up, and then they also order more on top of that. Because underneath that line on Smart Cookies is a line that says booth cookies, and you can order extras for booths or just to sell outright or whatever. But I do want to rewarn you, cookies are not returnable. So I always tell people, order wisely. I'm not really sure what that means, but order wisely. And to be honest, the seasoned cookie captains get it. And my daughter sold for 13 years. By the end, I would just put in an order without even taking orders from the customers. We'd put in an order for 400 because I knew I'd be able to do it. And then we just have them in the car. We take them to my sister's work and we just get rid of them. So you know. But as your first time, order carefully. You can always pick up more cookies after the initial order at a cookie cupboard. But if you want to order them in your initial, you can do that just to save yourself a trip. Is there questions on that, Kathy?
Not necessarily questions on that. Actually, I have to thank you, everyone who's out there through the chat. A lot of the leaders who have done this for many years are answering questions from ones. So
it's the seasoned cookie captains helping each other.
It is. Before I can even answer the question, they've already answered it for me. So I think it's awesome. So just to reiterate, I've had a couple of questions about credit card fees. Do the customers pay it? No, it's free. It's free. There are no credit card fees. The
council is basically paying it for everybody just this year,
Correct.
But no. So you guys, the troop, the customer, the girl, you guys won't see it. Correct. Great question.
Yep, that was something.
Somebody also just asked, how can girls continue to sell? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what you do is you put in that order on February 1st. I always like to say that's just to get you started, because after February 1st, cookies are out in the community. People come out of the woodwork. So you're going to get hit from people. Hey, I saw a commercial about that new cookie. Do you have it? And you can be like, why, yes, I do. How many would you like? Or as you're delivering cookies to your in-person girl delivered orders, you go deliver during a Super Bowl party or something, and everybody's like, hold up, Girl Scout cookies, I didn't order any. Do you have some more? Then you pull them out of your trunk and you can sell more. So yes, absolutely, girls can keep selling. And so people are saying now, yes. Oh, and I like that. Somebody said the council's gonna make the money back from the fees because everybody's gonna do it online. Absolutely what I say. I could not, literally, this is the most excited I've been for anything out of my 19 years. When can they stop taking online orders? March 22nd is the last day. So you can keep going with these online, and I'm thinking that might start catching on. So you can do online orders all the way up until the end.
And then I just want to address quickly, somebody had asked, will there be extra order cards in the materials being mailed out? I just want to say it's been a couple questions of that. Yes, we know there's sometimes multiple households, so everybody's getting an extra order card. The girls and the troops, putting that out there. So I have to decide.
And you know what's funny? I was packing this afternoon before the meeting. Every girl that's getting one shipped to her, she's getting one with the insert, with the recognitions and all the stuff, and we're throwing an extra one in there. So every girl is getting 2. Next, Cookie Share, we'll talk about briefly. Cookie Share is a column that's printed on the order card, and it will also be available to your customers online, whether they do direct ship or girl deliver. Cookie Share is an option for customers to still support your troop. support the council, but they're like, yeah, I don't really need to eat I mean, nobody really needs to eat cookies, but they're saying like, oh, I'm on a diet. I don't want to eat the cookies, but I'm willing to purchase cookies to be donated on my behalf. The council donates these cookies for you. They get donated to, first of all, food pantries in southeastern Wisconsin. And I will tell you, my cookie team, we do a very careful job of hitting every corner of our jurisdiction, if you will. So everybody gets those. We also have given them to missions. We have also last year, because we got stuck, a lot went to first responders, hospitals, etc. And then we also ship them or give them to the military. So just to give an idea, all the girls' cookie shares get added together, and then we as a council like deliver them by pallets. But usually it's in the 2,500 case average. So if you do the math, 2,500 times 12 packages, that's how many cookies we donate every year, which are bought and paid for by customers and donated on behalf of girls to other organizations, which is super, super cool. If you want to, and just so you know, when you enter that order in, so when you go to put in that initial order per girl, the first column says cookie share. When you put the cookies in there, let's say she took 3 orders for cookie shares and they total 10, you'd put a 10 in there. The troop will not receive those cookies. You're going to be billed for them. You're earning proceeds on them. The girl is earning credit toward her rewards on them, but you don't physically receive them because the council tallies them all together and delivers the big deliveries to different places. Any questions on that? I think I'm going to turn over the microphone. I'm dropping the mic and I'm going to give it over to Kathy.
All right. So, hi everybody. Sorry for all the technical difficulties, and I eventually made it through here. So thanks again to everyone who's been on the chat with me, you guys. It's been great. So I'm just going to touch on basically on safe cookie pickups. There's been a lot of questions, not only from our experienced leaders that have been doing this for a lot of years, but of course new ones, and parents wondering how are we going to pull this one off with, you know, the world that we're in, and how are we going to keep people safe. So just kind of to start from the beginning, that all of our within our council, we have very large pickups. Typically, our pickups will, you know, 8, 9, 10,000 cases are being picked up at one time. We'll have multiple troops picking up every 10, 15 minutes, maybe 3, 4 troops. It's a really quick, really fast process of how we get these cookies distributed to all of the troops. So Wendy and I had a lot of conversation about how we were going to do this safely. So one of the things we decided was we were still going to do some large pickups, but we were going to have to spread everything out a little bit more and kind of keep everybody distant. So then we decided to come up with these home deliveries. So yes, you'll have your huge pickup sites, but you'll also have this fantastic option for home deliveries this year. Last year, for any of you that were participating last year, we had a home delivery option. One troop had to hit 250 cases of cookies to qualify for the home delivery. From that point on, they could add additional troops' orders onto their order, and it all could be delivered right to that person's house. And when I say that, cookie captains, you'll have to decide amongst yourself, if you do combine your orders, who's going to be the cookie captain distributing. You're like a mini delivery site of yourself. But going back to that, 200 cases of cookies, we don't care how you get to that. So if there are 5 troops, let's say in your school or in your community, and each one of you, you know, sells 25 cases, if it gets to the 200, you qualify for a home delivery. We don't care how you get there. We don't care how many troops. And of course, some of you troops do this all on your own, so it's going to be no big deal. But we're saying really, really, really look into this option. It's obviously easy because it's being delivered right to your home. It's safe because there isn't anyone that you really have to encounter. We don't have to go out in the public and, you know, go to these bigger delivery sites, interact with a lot of people. And it's just a great convenience to have those cookies at your home. So what we're saying is look into this home delivery this year. Again, 200 cases. It doesn't matter how you get there. And then if you are combining other troop orders with your order, you're just going to have to, like I said, again, decide who is going to be the person that's going to receive the cookies. And of course, that person has to divvy out those cookies. And then any more information you need on that, you can always email cookies@GSYs. We're happy to answer those questions. Then going back to those bigger pickup sites, we know it's not going to work for all of you. Not all of you can receive a home delivery. So we'll still have our large pickup sites. Like we have a big pickup in St. Francis, and we have one in Franklin. We have one in West Bend and in Menominee Falls. So we'll still have all those larger pickup sites for those of you that can't do a home delivery. And those will also be in Cookies, at the ABC Smart Cookie System. So when it comes time for you to pick your delivery sites, that'll all be in there. And then of course, all that information will be sent to you via the Cookie Connection, telling you what you're going to need to do for that week and how to pick your delivery sites. And then also cupboards, I believe Wendy touched on that a little bit before. So you do your initial order, and then you send, that order into the council, and then you go, whether you have a home delivery or you pick up the cookies, all that's done. But of course, most of you are going to need additional cookies. So there'll be cupboards that'll be set up throughout our council's jurisdiction, from West Bend to Freever, Wisconsin, and all the way in between. We'll have cupboards set up. Those cupboard locations are going to be in the ABC Smart Cookie System. The one thing that we will tell you is this year it's going to be crucial for you to put your orders in through the cupboards and to do your planned orders. I won't get into detail with that, but what we're saying is just to make sure that we're going to have to practice social distancing with our cupboards this year. So just keep in mind, it might not necessarily be that you can just stop in and pick up cookies. Most will have to be done through the ABC Smart Cookie System. And again, you can schedule that through there, and more information to come on that. Any questions, Wendy?
They're keeping up with the questions, but we need to take a little side. We need to park for a minute. There was a question before that was skipped and it just resurfaced. It's about palm oil. I don't know if people have been following what palm oil is. It's something that goes into the ingredients of cookies, and many, many bakeries / food places use palm oil. Palm oil is not good for the environment, and it's coming now that girls are, the way other countries are using it is bad. But there are some Girl Scouts that are getting national attention because they want to boycott Girl Scout cookies because of this palm oil. So somebody just said, what are we doing? There is a question and answer sheet on our website it's already on there, that you can go on, that speaks to everything. And actually, this is a very good question, because I could see people at a cookie booth possibly getting questioned by customers. What are you doing? And you don't want the girls or the parents to be blindsided on this. So it might not be a bad thing to share with your customers. Maybe I will email that link out to everybody. You know what? No, it's going to be in the Friday Cookie Connection. And then you can read through it, and that's your response on it. So I'll be honest, palm oil, it bubbles up every couple of years, and I don't really think what Girl Scouts is doing isn't bad compared to what other things are doing. So we'll move on from there.
All right, so next slide.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, and then cookie booths. That's been another huge hot topic this year, cookie booths. For those of you that don't know what the cookie booth is, it's after that initial order that Wendy just talked about, whether it's the direct ship order or it's, you putting the order in. After that first initial order is picked up by the troop, you can go ahead, of course, girls can go ahead and sell, whether they sell in a booth, whether they sell door to door, however it is that they're going to be selling, chances are you're going to need more cookies. So, and then of course to do cookie booths. And let me back up here for a second. Cookie booths are where girls set up a table. You'll see them in the grocery stores, Pick and Saves, Walmarts, and things like that. That's where cookies are sold after the initial order is done. So after the order cards and direct selling. So, cookie booths are a little bit challenging this year, as you can expect, due to COVID and social distancing. And it's a very touchy subject. Everybody's comfort levels are different, and everybody's in a different place in their life with what's going on. So we're hoping to have a couple different options, and we're hoping one of these options works for you. Of course, we're still going to have our traditional cookie booths. We are going to have Walmart cookie booths, and of course, for those of you who have done them, it's outside, and those of you that have not, all Walmart cookie booths are done outside. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're booking that cookie booth. And it's a great experience for the kids, and they have a really great time, and they get to meet a lot of people. And of course, they're earning and learning at the same time. But it's, you know, it's February, March, it's cold, and it can be challenging. So just keep that in mind. Pick and saves, that's the other hot topic. We've been asked this year, will we be able to go into pick and save? Pick and save's always been very kind to us. Kroger's been very kind to us and allowed our girls in at all of their stores, and they allowed them inside, whether it's in their lobby or in a part of the store. Unfortunately, due to COVID this year, Pick and Save or Kroger has said that they're not able to allow troops in to the store this year. And we're kind of heartbroken that the girls can't go and sell in a cookie booth, but we also, on the flip side, kind of understand what they're going through and trying to keep everyone safe as well. So it's in the, you know, the safety of everyone involved that there will not be any pick and save stores this year. What we're asking is, please, troops, please do not reach out to these pick and saves. Please do not reach out to these managers. Please do not ask them if you can reserve a spot, whether you know the manager, whether you know somebody who works there, whether you know, whatever it might be. I know a lot of you have ties and connections to pick and save. We're asking you, please, out of respect to Kroger allowing us in every year, just let it be. There are not going to be pick and save booths this year. But on the flip side, what we did come up with is something called a pop-up booth. We think of it kind of like a summer lemonade stand. Pop-up booths are cookie booths that you can do just about anywhere. I think of them like a lemonade stand. I know one of our top sellers for years and years set a tent up in the front of her yard, and she was on a busy street, and she sold, I mean, I think she hit somewhere around 5,000 cookies every year. I mean, she did a phenomenal job, and that was considered a pop-up booth. It wasn't something that she scheduled, you know, through a store. It didn't need permission from anybody. Her hours were her hours, and it was at her pace. She could, of course, could keep the tent up, which was awesome. So we're really saying, think outside the cookie booth this year. Come up with your own creative and inventive places to have a cookie booth. I know personally, I live on a busy street. Good or bad, if it stops traffic, I have no idea, but I know it'd be an awesome place. And I know there would be a lot, you know, people stopping to get cookies. And not to mention, it's fun and it's safe. Again, it's safe. It's keeping that distance. You're not having a bunch of people in one place. So again, I'm encouraging you to go to, you know, to a different place when it comes to cookie booths, and try to come up with a location that is different than what you're used to. And then in addition to that, we're doing something called virtual cookie booths. This one's a little bit more, oh, no, that's okay. This one's a little bit more involved. Basically, what a virtual cookie booth is, I kind of think of it like, it's a cookie booth, but instead of the customer being in front of you, everything is being done online. So what you're going to do as a troop leader or cookie captain is you're going to create a virtual booth. This is all set up through the Smart Cookie system. You're going to create what's called a virtual cookie booth in the system. Again, more details to come on how you do that. But basically what it's going to do is going to create a link for you. That link can be set out to anybody that you anybody that you want to purchase cookies, or you can post it on your Facebook pages or any of your social media pages, or you can email it out to people. And as you can see, it says it allows people to order in advance via credit card. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, like me, for instance, Educators Credit Union down the street from me is huge. Everybody goes there on Saturday. So I'd say my virtual booth would be on Educators Credit Union on March 12th, Saturday, March 12th. So what I would do is, like, right away, probably set up a virtual cookie booth. I'd start sending my links out to all my customers, and they would order their cookies, and then they would see they're going to pick up their cookies on that Saturday, March 12th at Educators Credit Union. So once you get to, your date, and you have, March 12th, you have all your cookies, all your customers, and it's basically like a curbside pickup for cookies. It's touchless, it's seamless, and it's safe. So what I'm recommending is, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to stop you 1 second. We had a good question. Somebody said, can you advertise your cookie booth on like Nextdoor or like your neighborhood thing? exactly what Kathy was just talking about. So what my example was, I would do a virtual cookie booth in the parking lot of my kid's school, advertise it to everybody in next door and say, hey, we're going to be there next week, Saturday from 9 until 11, order now, pay now. And all you're doing is coming to pick up your cookies.
So then you'd have your, the cookies, Kathy, X amount of cookies that's already packed up, ready to go. They come, they pick up their cookies, done. No money exchanging, no credit card taking. It's just driving up and getting your cookies. It's kind of genius, if you ask me. And again, it couldn't come at a more perfect time. So any other questions with that?
I'm trying to keep up. Holy cow, they're quick. Somebody said, they said, can you do a pop-up booth in a pick and save parking lot? I said, you can't, you got to get permission from wherever you want to set up. The only people you don't have to get permission from is yourself. And one of our top sellers from last year, that was her tip to everybody, is she set up when the weather was nice, she'd set up a table in her front yard and just sell by herself with her mom. And she would get rid of tons of cookies. But I can tell you, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I can tell you 10 of our top sellers ever in the 13 years that I've been doing that all sold the most cookies in their front yard. I just want to put that out there.
All right. Any other good question? Somebody said, is it first come, first serve for scheduling? No, the troop secured booths, which are honestly not going to be nearly as many as there usually are done. And I'm going to have you read it. I don't want to get into the weeds right now, but they're done through a lottery, the first part, and then you get chosen if you got one awarded in the lottery, and then it turns into first come, first serve. But we just actually heard from Pick and Save today, right before this meeting. That's what we found out. And my response is, you know what? We're going to use this as an opportunity to figure out different ways to sell. I'm going to turn it back to the troops, and like a school drive-through is amazing. Do it at your church. Do it wherever. Like people are talking about getting the permission to do it in a parking lot or something like that. Somebody said, is Walmart a no too? No, Walmart is a yes, but not all stores. We're working on it right now.
The last thing I wanted to
go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say for Walmart or anyone else, which GNC, they're allowing us in this year too, 5 people total. It doesn't matter if Walmart has 2 doors. It doesn't matter if they have 4 different places for you to sit. 5 people total, 2 adults and 3 girls maximum for the store, for the booth slot, for your time slot. And that's per Walmart corporate and GSUSA. So we're asking you to please abide by that as well.
Somebody had a wonderful comment that I'd like to add to. All of everything we've talked about and all the questions that are popping up in the chat are all answered in detail in the Cookie Captain Guide that was attached to that email that I sent to you. So thank you to whoever read that and said that we are covering this stuff. So like keep that as your ready reference, maybe throw that in your car or whatever. And when you're like, all of these answers are in there and they go into more detail. Kathy, we have one. And then go ahead. One thing we forgot to cover though. I gotta go back.
No, one question. Can we divide virtual cookie booth cookies? Yes, there's still cookie booth cookies. You divide them just like you would anything else. Yes.
All right, there we go. Last one.
Hey, Wendy, I have a question. My keyboard's broke. For the virtual booth, do those need to be approved by the Cookie Captain, kind of like how the online orders are, but for the girls by the parents?
Yes, they do. Then yeah. So if it's people in the neighborhood or whatever, you'll be fine. But if you can deny some if you want to.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
All right, last thing. Grub Hub Pilot. I'm sure most of you, anyone who's watched the news has noticed Grub Hub. Girl Scouts are teaming with Grub Hub. We are teaming with Grub Hub. GSWise is doing it as a pilot this year. Just because it had to be done from a service center. It couldn't be done from just any random house, building, garage. It had to be done from a property. So in order to keep it safe for us, we did Milwaukee and Kenosha. Just so you all know, it's only groups grades 6 to 12, and it's going to be part of the booth lottery. That's how you're going to get that for any of those troops that qualify for that age group. And then also, Grub Hub only will deliver within a 15-mile radius of the service center. So basically, they're going to come and pick up the cookies, obviously, from the service center when they get an order. and it's anybody within that 15-mile radius of either Milwaukee Service Center or Kenosha Service Center can order Girl Scout cookies. The rest will not see that option. So if you get those questions, hey, why can't I order on Grub Hub? That's why.
Great description. I did want to share, Grub Hub is a national partnership with Girl Scouts this year, and it's amazing. But we're looking at it as a pilot. So we want to see how it goes this year. And if it does do really well, which we're hoping, because we've already had a lot of media attention, we will expand the locations. But there were a lot of rules this year, so we're just trying to figure it out this year. But just so you know, there are 80 councils that will be participating with Grub Hub, thanks to GSUSA partnering with them. And just to let you know, Grub Hub is waiving, I don't want to, wait, I should say this carefully. The customer still has to pay the Grub Hub fee, but Grub Hub is waiving the fees to the councils that are going with them. Like, we don't have to pay the credit card fees and everything. They're being very generous to us. So it's kind of a cool win-win, I guess. I think material pickup times for Friday and Saturday. Great question. This week, Friday, the 22nd, 9 until 3. This week, Saturday, the 23rd, 9 until noon. Milwaukee Service Center or Kenosha. Somebody said, do we have to wait to do pop-up booths or drive-through until booth time? Good question. Booth time, council secured booths are going to be those first 3 weekends in March. Some of you will have cookies earlier, and you can do a troop secured booth that for the weekend before, which is technically the last weekend in February.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm sorry to interrupt for a second, but I've put this in the chat a couple times, and I just want to make sure that we've clarified that you can post your links and things like that on Facebook on your own personal pages, but we're not really supposed to be putting those in our buy sell trade groups and our, things that are not ours. So
you can, rule? What Kathy talked about though is you can, if you want to draw people to your virtual cookie booth, because that's a group of people. You're not having people come to your house. I mean, if you don't want to, I understand there is a little bit of a safety issue, but I feel that there's no different doing that than doing a cookie booth at a random place where people don't know you anyways. So if you're doing it as a virtual cookie booth, yes. Yeah. Doing the girls link, I would not.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do it for our own personal girl, but if it's a troop thing, we can.
Correct. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I'm assuming a lot of people are going to do that this year, and we know that's been done in the past, but I think it's much safer now with the troop link.
Okay, somebody just said, are there credit card options with ABC? That was like the whole meat of this meeting. So yes, that's the big change this year, that everybody can do everything online with a credit card. And no, there are not fees. The council is paying the fees this year. Great question.
So, and then quick question, was the girls' role with Grub Hub? They actually have to come into the service centers, and they actually have to pack those orders. So it is specifically written, girls have to be a part of that delivery. There is no risk to the troops. You are not bringing your own cookies into the service centers. You are not packing your own cookies. The council will supply those cookies for you. The girls and, of course, troop leaders will need to be in there to pack. There'll be shifts and hours, and all that information will come along with that option. And I think that's probably it. I think of course, if you have questions, you can always email cookies@GSWise and we'll get back to you if we missed you.
Somebody said, when is cookie pickup, which is a good question. Cookie pickup begins February 22nd. There's all different cookie pickup dates. Some of them are during the week. A lot of them are going to be on that following weekend. Home delivery. When you apply for a home delivery, this is all in the guide, so I don't want to get totally into the weeds, but you will select 3 different time and date location or date options. We'll do our best to accommodate, but you're giving up like almost a whole day to get a home delivery because we can't guarantee what time your cookies are going to be there. But after February 22nd is cookie delivery.
Can you get the Toastiers sample on Friday too, if you would come and pick up cookie stuff?
Yes, please come in and pick them up.
Yes.
We've got plenty.
And are packs still expiring, or are they normal this year?
They're going to be normal, but we'll
reevaluate.
We'll reevaluate as time goes on, because this year we expired them for a whole year, or it extended them. So to be honest, I think there's an expiration date going to be printed on them, but we'll revisit that when we distribute them. Just to, we'll see what's going on in April. Hopefully things are on a better note, but we'll see.
And then I want to say one last thing also. A lot of the questions, like when's the Cookie Booth lottery doing, all those things are all again in that cookie captain guide that Wendy emailed you out. I recommend going through that. Not that it can't answer, you can always, email cookies@GSYs, but all those answers are in there. And then there was one other question. Are the s'mores going away? An excellent question, Wendy.
Yeah, the s'mores are being retired this year. So if you like them, get them now. They will be sunsetted after this year. And next year, we're getting another new cookie, and the little brownie bakery, which is the other council's use. We're both good. We're all going to have the same new cookie next year. So that could be kind of big. Somebody just said, if we pick up our stuff, can we pick it up instead? You can come and pick it up, but you're still going to get it in the mail because I can't find where your envelope is. And half of it's already packed, but that's fine. Is the guide being posted? I haven't received it. If you received the email with the link to get onto this meeting, it was attached to that email. So I already sent it out. It'll be posted tomorrow. I don't think it got posted yet. Is the social media link in the packet, or where the social media order link? It talks about it in the family guide, and it talks about it in the Troop Cookie Captain guide. Somebody said, we talked about that girls are using their packs, or they're stashing them till from second grade to 10th grade. There is a pack saving form, and the only way you can do that is if you use it toward a council sponsored trip or a GSUSA destination. So like I was talking about girls, we have a council trip, which of course last year was canceled. This year is to Iceland. 2 years ago, we had 18 girls go to Europe for 17 days, and my daughter was part of it. Yay. So amazing opportunities. So we do it, and what we're trying to do is keep one like local. So we'll do one to like Savannah one year, and then the next year do something big again. But they're a little on the expensive side. So you can start saving your packs. And just to let you know, the trip cost $5,000. My daughter had $1,100 saved up in program activity credits over the years. So we saved 1/5 of the trip by selling cookies, which is awesome. Any other questions?
I think we're good.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think what I want you to walk away with is 2 things. Number one, thank you for what you do. And I usually talk about this, like, why do we all do this? Why do I work here? Why do you give up your time to be a true cookie captain and everything? What girls learn and what they experience from selling cookies, it kind of gives me goosebumps. Like talking about my daughter going to Europe, she wouldn't have done that if she didn't sell cookies. So it powers amazing things in girls. And even if your girl doesn't go on some giant trip or whatever, just the camaraderie she feels by selling with her troop, and the mom and me time, which I still value, that you're spending time even sorting orders or whatever you're doing. It just all makes such a difference. So that's why we all do this. So thank you so much for stepping up to be a Troop Cookie Captain. And then also, I wanted to put out there, like the number one question we have been getting the last 6 months is, are Girl Scouts going to sell cookies? And my answer is, you're darn right we're going to sell cookies, because we're Girl Scouts. People want them. People need them, because it's a normal thing in this crazy world we live in right now. And Girl Scouts can do anything. So we're going to figure out a way to make this possible. And based on what we did for the nut sale, I think we're going to do really, really well, because our nut numbers actually went up in this crazy world we live in. So thank you. And then my last thing is, Kathy and I are staff, but like I said, we have a team of 50 volunteers, plus all those people that were all answering these questions in the chat. There's tons of people to help you. So if you're new and are feeling overwhelmed, we are here to help you. Cookies@GSYs is your friend. Throw emails in there anytime. We're happy to help. And I get it. It's overwhelming. There's a lot. But that cookie connection on Friday is going to help you along the way. So you don't have to remember all of this. We're going to remind you every Friday. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. This will be posted on the website. If you have people that missed it or whatever, you can tell them it should be up, I think, tomorrow or Friday for sure. And thanks again. And best wishes for the best cookie season ever.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. That was awesome.
Can you explain the saving the pack credits?
Packs? Sure. It's called a pack saving form, and it's already on the website. So once you get your pack card, it'll ask for the pack number so that we can see how much you earned. And by putting it in there, let's say you had $50, we put aside like $50 for you. And the cool thing is, when you take it out, you even get a 5% interest. So when you are ready to cash it in, so let's say you had 50, 100, 50, so you have $200 to take out, you would get $210 from the council. But the money does not go to the girl, it would go to the trip. So like my daughter's trip was through EF Tours. So her money went directly to pay EF Tours for a portion of her trip.
Now you mentioned, I think they have to start in 2nd grade. Is that the requirement, or can they start at any age?
They can start anytime. But I'm saying as I have girls as early as 2nd graders that know they want to do something big when they're older, they can start saving then. Most girls don't start saving until they're like 5th, 6th grade.
Which cookies are replacing the s'mores?
Sorry?
Which cookies are going to be replacing the s'mores after this year? Do we know?
We don't know yet, but it's like I said, it's going to be one cookie for both.
The patient is killing us.
I know. And you know what? If we know before the end of the sale, it'd be awesome. I would love to give samples at recognition pickup. Wouldn't that be fun?
Okay. That would be interesting because the s'mores are mine and my daughter's favorite cookies. So we're going to be really sad to see them go.
Oh, no. Yeah.